Hey guys, it's Airvelg. This has taken so many takes, so I'm going to try to make this one the last one. The goal of this is to explain how Challenger players end games much faster than anyone else from top lane. So, your first goal is get a 30 CS lead top lane. That's the most consistent way to ensure your success, not 1, 2, 3 kills, no. That's an inconsistent way to climb. Alright, so, you get 30 CS in lane over your opponent. I'll leave that to your imagination on how you do it. Now, second goal is 3 plates off of this tower. This will set it up perfectly for, at about 8 minutes, your next objective, which is to take Herald. Make sure you get the eye, because if you don't, you are not going to be able to execute this strategy near as quickly as you want. So the second you get eye, you throw it at top lane, and then you have a choice to make after you get that tower. Either you can keep pushing onwards, or you can rotate bot. This decision should be made based on the enemy jungler's presence in your lane. If you have had a lot of presence top lane from the enemy jungler, you're going to rotate bot. If you haven't, you're going to keep pushing top. So, if you were to rotate bot lane, you're going to use your flash and your ultimate, presuming you have them, hopefully you have them, to kill the enemy bot lane and then ensure this tower is taken. Now, this should be before plates drop. Getting 10 plates off of the field before plates drop is incredibly nice, and they're on good targets. Alright, so your next goal is something that Riot recently implemented, which are these major gold mines on the map. Now, the reason I call these gold mines is because they are worth absurd amounts of gold nowadays. Riot made a change recently and increased the gold amount of these towers locally to 600 for the player that takes them. So you get 600 gold, and then 200 gets distributed to your team. Now, this is your next major objective. Once both of these are down, then you focus on the enemy jungle, and you focus on other objectives like dragons. Now, dragons aren't a huge necessity unless the game isn't going to end before Soul or Elder. If that is the case, then dragons become pretty vital to the game. If that's not the case, you don't have to care about them. The stats are real nice, but the commitment that you are going to spend to gain these dragons can sometimes not even be worthwhile. Alright, so now we have, presumably, all of this outer shell cracked. Your next choice is to get second Herald and possibly Baron. So these can be done through a million different means, but the use of what you do with them is important. So, once you have second Herald, you're going to either use it to break an inhibitor tower, or on a much better use, which would be Nexus towers. So, you break an inhib tower and then you kill an open inhib, that's great, right? But something that's even better than that is if you're able to take down one of any of these 3 inhibs before you drop second Herald, you can end the game right then and there if you have even the slightest bit of cooperation from your team. And so, the way you do this is you put 5 people in whatever lane has a broken inhib. And then you drop Herald in range of the Nexus tower, or slightly outside to preserve its health value. And then you make sure that you are able to get about 200 damage on either of these towers. With about 200 damage on either of these Nexus towers, second Herald is going to one-shot them. And that can easily be used to finish off the other tower as well. Now, if you are able to pressure this space as Herald resets its lunge, you can easily get the second tower, and then you have 5 people against a team with no towers and that's down likely 5 to 10,000 gold. That's the easiest game that I've ever seen, and it's going to be done in about 20 minutes with no AFKs. Now, this is something that can be rinsed and repeated over and over and over. So I'm going to do a very quick review of this strategy for those that are watching so that you don't have to rewatch the video. So, 30 CS, 3 plates, Herald, finish off the tower based on jungle presence, either push top and get the second tower, or push bot and pursue this second tower. Now, after this point, you take control of the jungle, and you finish off the mid tower, and then you focus on ensuring that you get second Herald. After this, you try everything you can to get one of these inhibs without having to use it. If you're able to do that, you do your best to convince your four teammates to show up in the lane without an inhib, and then you just drop Herald on one of these towers, pressure the enemies off of the Herald, and then take the second tower immediately afterwards and end the game right then and there. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this helps you out in your solo queue games.